If you can master the art of employee motivation, you will be a hero to many people. It's a huge issue, but really the tools we're going to talk about are not gigantic. It's just a matter of paying attention to what the needs of the employee are. Listening is a key thing, but a lot of the things we're going to talk about in this chapter really are very applicable. And if you adopt them into your regular routine of leadership, you can sit down there and have your employees be successful and you be successful. And there are days you'll be able to walk out the door feeling you did something. Now, I don't know about you, I've worked an awful lot of jobs, and sometimes, some days, no matter what you do, it feels like you're actually behind further than when you first started. But every once in a while, you had a good day, employees are cranking out the work, you're getting some good things done, you're building relations, you're building the organization up, and that really is what we're talking about here with employee motivation. A lot of it is engagement. Really, employee motivation, it forces the person into a direction, intensity, and persistence. And really the emotional and cognitive motivation, particularly focused, intense, and really persistent, continually pursuing those things that are critical to the organization's success. Those three things, focused, intense, and persistent, really are the effort towards work-related goals. That's a big deal, and that's what separates the high-end employee, the one that people want to sit down and give work to and watch it get done. And the monkey is off their back because that employee is persistent. They pursue it instead of sitting back and whining and saying, I can't do it. Nobody wants those kind of people to work with. They want a person who says, you know what, I had a problem and I fixed it doing this. I'd much rather have an employee that went ahead without permission and got something accomplished, and I had to throttle them back rather than the employee that have to sit back and push or kick to get to do the work and solve the problems that are part of the overall problem. That's part of their job and their work. Focused, intense, persistent. That's a big thing. There's employee drives that are hardwired into our brain, and we really have them, and we'll talk about all four of them, but they're innate. They're part of the genetic predisposition and the fight that we have within ourselves, and they're universal on everything that we have. A lot of it really, and then we take those drives and we look at the self-concept, the norms, and the past experience, and that's how we implement those drives. So let's talk about those drives, how they're goal-focused forces that we experience, and we channel emotions towards specific goals. Emotions have a major effect, like we talked about in the last chapter. Well, we shouldn't be making decisions with our emotions. Our emotions should take the decisions that we make through our intellect and then move them forward. And if you use your emotions right and the emotions of your employees, you can get a massive amount of work done because you have fire, you have the passion, you have really the vision you've captured with the employees that have also engaged with this. You have everybody moving forward. You focus on the self-concept, the norms, and so on. The four drive theory, and you need to have these in your notes, not just for the function of this class. You need to have the four drives theory written down in your head, because these are key things that if you can figure out what motivates the employees using these four drives within each individual, you will be successful in helping to motivate an employee, hopefully, and move them off their personal motivations to the organizational motivations. First off, the drive to acquire, to seek, acquire, control, retain objects or experiences. Some people, they really want to collect things. They collect pieces of knowledge, bad jokes. They collect humor. They collect knowledge. They sit there and accumulate things, and they desire to acquire whatever thing it is, that object, or sometimes it's not a physical object, it's an intangible object. The drive to bond, to build social relationships, to enjoy, engage. One of the things that when the world went through the pandemic, we lost that bond. We lost the ability to form social relationships. And I have to specifically tell you that we lost part of our entire humanity in the process. And we have people out there seeking to reform, to rebuild that relationship, and they're out there. But now they've lost that connection at work, and it's up to us to restore that connection, because once you do, they'll remember that whole aspect, or maybe learn anew the aspect of what it is to bond and be part of a group. The drive to comprehend. to satisfy our curiosity, to know. A lot of times, motivation, people are motivated in the work that they do. I realize it sounds really strange that I'm motivated to work, but you know what? If the work is presented in a way that, number one, it appeals to their intellect, is complex enough that it satisfies their curiosity, they have a chance to engage, be creative about it, be free to explore it, and take a problem and just pursue it to the very end. If you know how to motivate them using this drive to comprehend, you're going to have employees that will leave work at the end of the day a little bit lighter in their step, in the aspect of being positive about enjoying and looking forward to coming back, which is, if you pull that off, you are a miracle worker in an awful lot of organizations. The drive to defend, to protect ourselves physically, socially, our family, and sometimes our boss, believe it or not. Yes, you have people out there that will defend their boss and defend the company because of the fact that they are so engaged with it. These are the 4 drives. They're universal, they're innate, they're part of all human beings. The drive to acquire, bond, comprehend, and defend. Now, and then you take that and now you start developing a model of the social norms of the person, because even though we all have a universal set of the 4 drives, we have those, but we also have our own unique individual thing of our social norms, our values, and our past experience. Those are unique. They're unique to me compared to you. Yours are unique to you compared to me. And the person next to you, they're unique as well. So we take them and we start filtering them through the individual lenses that we have. And that's how we sit down and start developing our personal goals. The 4 drives, they determine which emotions to tag with the incoming sensory information as we go back and look on the social norms, the personal values, and the past experiences. So the drives, we see something happening, the drives start kicking in, and then also we start filtering them in and tag them with the sensory information that we interpret them through for our own personal set of glasses that we've developed. The emotions, they become a conscious experience that's strong, and sometimes they'll conflict with each other. Something happens over here and we have conflicting things. And just because you and the person next to you even come from the same culture, maybe even grew up in the same neighborhood, it doesn't matter, because you are a unique individual, just like that person is as well. So here comes the 4 drives, they kick in, we have a different response, filtering that event through our experiences. And even though you both may watch exactly the same thing, you and the person next to you, you may actually interpret the event that happened differently. Keep that in mind, that you're not always right. You're part of one version of the truth, and their version of the truth in the process may be different from yours, but that doesn't mean either one of you is lying. What it means is that you both have 2 different perceptions, and the truth probably is a combination of the both. The mental skills relies on the set of social norms, the values, and experience. Let's go back over here. We have the 4 drives, and we're filtering them in through the social norms, the personal values, and the past experience. The practical implications, the best workplaces really focus on trying to push the buttons of all 4 drives. If you pull that off, and don't go crazy on one of them versus the other. If you sit down there, the drive to acquire, that's in everybody, capture that, but don't keep that going all the time. Try to capture also the drive to bond, the drive to comprehend, the drive to defend. Keep them all going in balance. And that way you're feeding that whole social matrix on the inside of the person, filling those needs. And if you have all the employees fully engaged in all 4 drives, you're going to have a great employee motivational factor. Motivation, the direction, the intensity, that persistence, those make great employees. And the 4 drives, they're innate and universal, and they're acquire, bond, comprehend, and defend. Those are the 4 drives. Ingrain them into your memory, not just for this class, for you as a professional, because my expectation of you is I hope that you become a leader in every aspect of it. And you don't have to have a position of power or organization to be a leader. You can be a leader within your family, within your social community, or even in your neighborhood on top of that. But regardless, know the 4 drives, because it's going to help you with the topic of employee motivation. Take care.